Dear learners, let's try to understand the operant conditioning theory given by B.F. Skinner. Let us explore operant conditioning theory. Burrhus Frederic Skinner, 20th March 1904 18th August 1990, was an American psychologist, behaviorist, inventor, and social philosopher. Operant conditioning, sometimes called instrumental conditioning or Skinnerian conditioning, is a method of learning that uses rewards and punishment to modify behavior. Through operant conditioning, behavior that is rewarded is likely to be repeated, while behavior that is punished is prone to happen less. For example, when you are rewarded at work with a performance bonus for exceptional work, you will want to continue performing at a higher level in hopes of receiving another bonus in the future. Because this behavior was followed by a positive outcome, the behavior will likely be repeated. Key concepts of operant conditioning. 1. Operant behavior. In operant conditioning, behavior is considered to be under the control of its consequences. Skinner termed the behavior that operates on the environment to produce certain consequences as operant behavior. Unlike classical conditioning, where behaviors are reflexive responses to stimuli, operant behaviors are voluntary actions emitted by an organism. 2. Reinforcement. Reinforcement refers to the process of increasing the likelihood of a behavior occurring again in the future. Reinforcement can be positive, involving the addition of a stimulus following a behavior to strengthen it, or negative, involving the removal of a stimulus to increase the likelihood of the behavior recurring. 3. Punishment. Punishment involves the presentation of an aversive stimulus or the removal of a pleasant one to decrease the likelihood of a behavior occurring in the future. Positive punishment adds an unpleasant consequence, while negative punishment involves removing a desirable stimulus. 4. Schedules of reinforcement. Skinner identified different schedules of reinforcement that determine how and when reinforcement is delivered. These schedules include continuous reinforcement, where the behavior is reinforced every time it occurs, and partial reinforcement, where reinforcement is provided intermittently. Partial reinforcement schedules can be fixed or variable, and they can be based on either the ratio of responses to reinforcements, ratio schedules, or the passage of time, interval schedules. B.F. Skinner's experiment. B.F. Skinner conducted experiments using a Skinner box to study operant conditioning in rats. In these experiments, hungry rats were placed in the box, which contained a lever and a food dispenser. Skinner trained the rats to press the lever through shaping techniques, rewarding them with food. He tested different reinforcement schedules, observing how they affected the rate and persistence of lever pressing behavior. Skinner also introduced punishment, such as mild electric shocks, to study its impact on behavior. His experiments demonstrated the principles of operant conditioning and its significance in shaping behavior. Principles of operant conditioning. 1. Law of effect. Skinner's work was heavily influenced by Edward Thorndike's law of effect, which states that behaviors followed by pleasant consequences are likely to be repeated, while those followed by unpleasant consequences are less likely to be repeated. Skinner expanded on this idea, emphasizing that it is the consequences that shape behavior. 2. Shaping. Shaping involves reinforcing successive approximations of a desired behavior. It is used to teach complex behaviors by rewarding behaviors that are closer and closer to the desired goal. For example, teaching a rat to press a lever involves initially rewarding any movement toward the lever, then only rewarding touching the lever, and finally only rewarding pressing the lever. 3. Discrimination and generalization. Discrimination involves learning to distinguish between different stimuli and respond appropriately to each, while generalization involves responding similarly to similar stimuli. Educational implications of operant conditioning theory. Classroom management. Operant conditioning principles can be applied to promote positive classroom behaviors and reduce disruptive behaviors. Teachers can use reinforcement strategies such as praise, rewards, and privileges to encourage student participation and adherence to classroom rules. Individualized instruction, operant conditioning techniques, such as shaping and reinforcement schedules, can be used to individualize instruction and support students' learning progress. Teachers can provide immediate feedback and adjust reinforcement strategies based on students' responses and performance. Behavior modification programs. Operant conditioning principles are applied in behavior modification programs aimed at addressing specific behavioral issues in students, such as attention deficits, aggression, or non-compliance. Interventions may involve the use of positive reinforcement, token economies, or contingency management techniques to reinforce desired behaviors and reduce problem behaviors. Self-regulated learning. Operant conditioning principles can also be applied to promote self-regulated learning skills in students. By reinforcing self-monitoring, goal-setting, and self-reinforcement strategies, educators can empower students to take control of their own learning process and academic success. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.